and help you go back to the state of and zen, flowy pants and head wraps. Also, I don't know if anybody noticed, but the chakras are colors of the rainbow, so I wanted to wear like a very colorful shirt for this. Yeah, I digress. Hey y'all, it's your girl Emmy. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the Emmy experience, where we talk about everything and anything under the sun. And today's video is going to be on the chakra system. Before I go any further, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because that would really help me out a lot. And let's get started. Today's video is going to be on the chakra system. So for those who don't know what chakras are, they are energy points that are in our body, and each energy point, they go up and down our spine. So starting from the base of our spine to the top of our head, and each one of them represent a different aspects of our emotional and physical and spiritual well-being. Chakras, that's Sanskrit for wheel. So you have 7 energy points going up your spine, and these wheels are different colors. So kind of imagine like each wheel is like a light, and they're all like the different colors. So they all represent a different area of our emotional and physical and mental health. These lights, these wheels, these lights, these wheel of lights can be like not bright or a dull light, or they can be too bright, or they can be well balanced, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna go further in like describing, because like when they're dull, it would represent a area of your spiritual, mental, or physical health that is underdeveloped, or is lacking, or is like underactive, like you're not focusing on that area. Where it can also be an area that is too much in use. So I'll go into explaining like what each chakra is, how to know what is out of balance, and then I'm going to go over how to bring it back in balance, because I think that might flow better. So basically each chakra can be underbalanced, overbalanced, or like perfectly balanced, so that area would be healthy. Nobody's perfect. Nobody has all of your chakras completely balanced. I mean, you can, but you have to be very like, you know? And even the people who seem like they're very are not very if that makes sense. So, you know, we're all learning, we're all growing, and we're all trying to get to the state of, can you say it with me? Anyway, so the 7 chakras, they starting from your root, to the root being the base of your spine, that's your root chakra, and then by your belly button is your sacral chakra. Right under your like by your upper stomach, that would be your solar plexus. Then you have your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. When you have a chakra that's out of balance, overactive, or underactive, that means that you are holding an emotional blockage that's connected to that area. When a chakra becomes so out of balance, it can actually manifest as physical pain. Let's say if your root chakra, I'm gonna go more into it, but your root chakra is connected to your sense of security. So somebody who is having a lot of lower back pain, it could be said that, you know, your root chakra is out of balance. I am not a doctor, first of all. I am a professor, Professor Emmy here, okay? The physical pain that can manifest when it's out of balance doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, just because you have back pain, your root chakra is out of balance. It's just that would be the pain that would be the area that it would represent if it was out of balance. Does that make sense? I'm kind of a rambler. But yeah, moving on. So these chakras, they represent your life energy. You understand your chakras and what's out of balance, and when you have certain behaviors, how they can be connecting to that over or underused chakra. It can help you go back to the state of and zen and inner tranquility and flowy pants and head wraps. I'm just gonna start with going over what each chakra is. So from the bottom, we're going to discuss the root chakra. So the root chakra, associated with the color red, at the bottom of your spine. that one is connected to your connection to the earth, whether it being like Mother Earth or just like the world that's around you. So the root is all about like the root of a tree. Are you grounded? Do you feel emotionally stable and balanced in your world? Do you have shelter? Do you have reliable food in your fridge? Those basic needs would be connected to your root chakra. It's also connected to stability, security, finances, food, your life. Do you feel like you can handle the circumstances that life throws at you? So let's say somebody was going through a very hard time in life, okay? They just snap and they lose it at the smallest little things. I am guilty of these things in the past. That's behind me now, right? Because I'm zen. What are they like this? Smallest little thing could piss me off, right? Because I didn't feel secure in the world around me. I was easily like to be blown, or not to be blown. I didn't have the confidence to handle all the things that life would throw at me. I felt like this could be the one that really would just knock me over and I would not be able to get back up. So that is associated to your root chakra. But when it's unbalanced, like when I went through it, I felt insecure. I felt like I couldn't, like my survival instincts were impaired, or that I wouldn't be able to get back up. So that's just my example of when my root chakra was out of balance. But another example could be you feel threatened, but not saying by like other people, just like that example, like I just felt threatened. I felt like that one thing could really just throw me off. So very scared of, or paranoia of maybe like excessive materialism. So hoarding your money because you're worried that you'll never get money again, and you need to be prepared for every situation, if that makes sense. Or feeling very insecure, just ungrounded, feeling unstable, unsecure, feeling like you can't provide or take care of yourself, feeling like there's nobody around that can help you take care of yourself, not having anybody to rely on. So the root is it's associated with more of your survival instinct. If you don't feel safe, if you don't feel secure, if you don't feel like you have the finances that you need, just the very basic needs to survive. If you don't have those things, then that's how that would manifest. Some other signs could be materialistic, someone who tends to lash out on others, easily annoyed. It doesn't take much to see them explode because they don't feel safe or secure around them. So they have all this anger, they're on edge, so it doesn't take much to let her out, you know? It'll also be somebody who's hung up on the past, they can't let things go, someone who holds a lot of grudges, angry, impatient, someone who's very greedy, stuck in their routine. A lot of these emotions are connected to like not having a secure childhood, especially, or feeling emotionally unstable. Someone who's experienced abandonment, or someone who just like overcompensates by overeating or like being very clingy to people. And when I think of the sacral, I think of like a goddess, because it's your sense of sensuality, sexuality, creativity, and like your emotions. It's also connected to the heart chakra. So it's how you deal with your own emotions and others' emotions. Associated with like the water element, rules are creative and sexual energies, our sensitivity, intimacy, self-expression, pleasure, abundance. Like if you feel abundant or like unabundant, so like constricted. When it's in balance, you feel the sense of wellness, you feel the sense of wholeness, you feel very like in control of your sexuality. Maybe you're somebody who's like open with your sexuality and doesn't use their sexuality as a way to cope with feeling emotionally disconnected from other people. Because I know that's a lot of things that our generation, or my generation really, are both, right? We all go through, right? So yeah, so when it's out of balance, it can manifest as pain around your sexual organs. It could be manifest as like a UTI or urinary or kidney infections or problems. Lower back pain, like you can't express your emotions, feeling of betrayal, closed off from people, depressed, emotional instability, and then also like feeling overwhelmed. Moving on to the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus is associated with the color yellow, and when I think of the solar plexus, I think of like Leo in astrology. It's also associated with the fire element, and then it's just like this sense of like willpower, your self-confidence, your self-worth, your self-esteem, your self-value. So it's very like, how do you see yourself? It's like how your relationship is with you. It manifests in that area. So it's like right by the stomach or under your above upper abdomen. Yeah, it's associated with the thoughts and feelings that you have for yourself and your self-love. When it's out of balance, it can physically manifest as digestive problems, abdomen pain, and I'm sure you're seeing the trend now. Wherever the area is of the chakra, physical pain will manifest in those areas. But I digress. Moving on. Emotionally, it can manifest as ego, someone who's very conceited, not being able to follow through with your goals. Could also be someone who's highly competitive. I think I'm kind of mixing them up, so let me like separate them for you. So somebody who's blocked or like underdeveloped, they probably have feelings of doubt, insecurity, can't commit, can't follow their goals, low self-esteem. Where somebody who has like an overactive, so like think of like machismo and like very like it's all about me, male like energy, would be like somebody who has a very like high ego, someone who's very competitive, really has a hard time expressing themselves, so they use like their anger to like express themselves, which isn't really expressing yourself, right? Your solar is all about your internal world, like how you feel about yourself, because how you feel about yourself is a reflection of how you treat other people. So if somebody who's just very quick to just be snappy and rude at you, could also be that they just have a overactive solar plexus, which also just means it's out of balance, which also means it's an area of development. When the solar plexus is in balance, you're able to overcome your fears, make good thoughts and good choices. You're able to process and heal from your past. So a lot of these areas are connected to your emotional past and your upbringings, your childhood upbringings. Chakra is underdeveloped or overdeveloped. It's associated a lot of the times with it could be the emotional world, the state that they're in at the moment, or their physical world, like how they're feeling in life at this moment will manifest in a blockage of those chakras. But it can also be like unresolved childhood issues. So like, let's say if you grew up and bouncing around in foster cares, you would definitely have, and you never like developed that or like really like tried to heal from that pain, you would have probably a blocked root chakra and probably a throat as well, maybe a heart, it really just depends. But does that make sense? So that'll carry on with you is what I'm saying, and that'll dim. Remember I said their wheels, they're light, so it would dim that light. And then somebody who feels like they need to compensate, like that yellow with that solar plexus chakra, somebody who has so much ego, they would feel the need to overcompensate and make it too bright, because solar plexus is fire, so then it becomes a raging fire. Y'all catching my drift? Let's move on to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is located in the center of your chest. It's associated with the color green and air. The heart chakra is the middle chakra. There's 7, right? So it's the point that connects from your lower senses of security and your physical world to the spiritual, like, because once you get to the 3rd and the crown, they're more of a spiritual kindness to all and understand that we're all connected type of thing. So the heart needs to be balanced for both, associated with the lower and the higher elements is what I'm trying to get at, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The heart chakra is connected to the sacral chakra because the heart is your ability to love and the sacral is your ability to process your emotions, yourselves, and of others. So your heart chakra is your ability to give and receive love for yourself and for other people. It's your joy, it's your inner peace, self-love, kindness, and compassion. Somebody who has a balanced heart chakra, they would be open to life, to receive life and the life that's around them. They're able to open their heart to others. They have love for themselves and acceptance. They practice kindness, self-care, self-love, and are able to express their love and emotions to other people that they have for other people. And the heart chakra is underbalanced. It can manifest as being difficult to open up to other people, feeling very disconnected from other people. You probably just don't feel like you fit in, or like you're just not able to put yourself out there because you don't know who you really even are to put out there in the first place. Can't receive love. The physical manifestations of this would be pain in the chest, difficulty breathing, tight shoulders, and pain in the upper back. It could also manifest emotionally as lack of self-confidence, compassion for yourself, anxiety, especially social anxiety, and high blood pressure. So then when it's overactive, it would be somebody who is very clingy to other people or is like afraid to let them go. So they kind of like, they give from an empty cup, they wear their heart on their sleeve, and they're more concerned with taking care of everybody else than themselves. It could be somebody who's very agitated, angry, jealousy especially, just a smothering kind of love. Moving on, follow me to the throat chakra. Welcome. So the throat chakra, kind of like what it says, the throat. So the throat chakra is associated with the color blue, and it's being able to speak up for yourself and speak from an emotional, I don't want to say vulnerable, but like your personal truth, your ability to communicate your personal truth, like express yourself clearly to other people. Self-expression, also being able to listen to people. When it's blocked, it can manifest as physical pain in the jaw, in the throat, like maybe you have like sore throats, tightness in the jaw, maybe even ear pain, because you know this area is all like connected, thyroid problems, like a cracking voice, a stiff neck, stiff throat. So when it's blocked, somebody has a hard time communicating their feelings, especially to other people, or even just like they're constantly being misunderstood, like their words just get taken for the wrong way. They're trying to tell you one thing, but it's being taken the other way, and they don't really know how to like, their foot's just in their mouth, basically. When it's underdeveloped, it's somebody who's very shy and timid. They're not able to speak up for themselves. They probably let people boss them around or tell them what to do, and they just kind of do it and stay quiet. They can't speak up or stand up for themselves. They could be very secretive. They could have social anxiety, and they could feel like their thoughts and opinions aren't valued, so they just don't even really bother expressing them. When it's overactive, it's the opposite. It's someone who's very stubborn. It's someone who needs everything their way. It's someone who probably talks over people or like yells a lot. Somebody who's verbally aggressive, someone who maybe lies, is untrustworthy and very confrontational. When it's imbalanced, it's somebody who knows how to listen and also how to speak and how to have an actual conversation, and is just fair in the way they speak. Moving on to the third eye. So the third eye is located in between your eyes, right? Or like a little bit above there, right? I guess in between your eyebrows. I'm sure you've heard the term third eye before. The ancient Egyptians used it as referring to the eye of Horus. It's connected to the pineal gland, which is like, it's like this way, like in your brain, excuse me. It's like this way in your brain. And the third eye is connected to perception, manifestation, intuition, being able to connect and hear your higher self and know like what is good for you, and like know when that voice that's in your head is talking to you is the good voice, you know, that wants the best for you and is your higher self, versus the one that just wants you to like fuck up, right? So it's also known as the doorway of spiritual like enlightenment, being able to find the truth within yourself. And that's why it's really important to have a decalcified pineal gland, because you know, things like our toothpaste, because the fluoride in the toothpaste, the fluoride in the water, hormones that are in the food that we eat, and the pesticides in the food that we eat, they all calcify our pineal gland. And when you have a calcified pineal gland, you have a harder time. It builds like these crystals around your pineal gland, and then you can't really connect to source. I should be making a video on decalcifying your pineal gland, so I can link that up above, hopefully. So when you have a calcified pineal gland, you can't connect to source. If you have a harder time trusting your intuition, you probably don't have as vivid dreams. And it can also like manifest as feeling a little lethargic, tired, unable to sleep at night, things like that, right? When your third eye is blocked, you're probably feeling very paranoid, closed-minded. It can manifest as mental or mood disorders. Physically, it can be brain fog, headaches, migraines, not feeling inspired, emotionally unstable, not being able to listen to your intuition. Or you could be somebody who's like too overly emotional or like overly logical, but you need both, right? And not being able to see the bigger picture, lost in your thoughts, like somebody who just the type to daydream a lot, right? And just be very disconnected from reality. It's very connected to, do you feel like your perspective is valued? It's underactive, it's ungrounded, it's mental confusion, it's la la land mindset, it's not knowing what's true and what's a lie. When it's overactive, it's arrogance, it's like a limited mind perspective, having very limiting beliefs, but then also very narrow-minded. I guess it's kind of the same thing, but I just wanted to say both times, I guess. And then when it's in balance, it's somebody who can tell when someone's lying to them. It's very intuitive. They're in balance with their emotions and their logical side. They have self-awareness. They're imaginative and probably creative, even like very connected spiritually. Have a good thought process, or thoughtful, or can think things very thoroughly. Yeah, and intuitive, and they know what's true and what's a lie, or like they know when they're being lied to, like disillusion, because they trust their intuition, right? Now we are moving on to the crown chakra. The crown chakra is like purple or white. It's at the top of the head. That's why like a crown, right? Or like your hair, it's a crown, right? I don't know what's wrong with me today. It connects with your ability. It's kind of like the third eye, but it's more of like higher consciousness, being able to connect spiritually, and just being reminded that you are connected to a bigger whole, and that life happens outside of you, and that we're all connected, and what happens to me affects you, and what happens to you affects me, and you know, we're all in this together, and we hold hands in a giant circle. And it's out of balance. It can manifest physically as fatigue, feeling lethargic, tired, nightmares, maybe bored with life, or like disconnected from your life. You probably just feel like, is this a game? Or like, am I even here? Or like, but where is here? You just feel lost in the sauce. Depression, alienation, lack of empathy, and just like burnt out if you have like a fast-paced lifestyle, or like a very stressful environment. Like, it'll just make you feel worn out. When it's blocked, you can't see other people's perspectives. It manifests as headaches as well. You can't focus. There's probably a lot of drama in your life, or you probably need a lot of drama in your life. And you're uncompassionate, materialistic, or greedy. Can't like listen or open up to other people's perspectives. When it is in balance, you're just very in tune with your own body and the signs that your body is giving you. You're able to pay attention to your own thoughts and your feelings, and then also being able to pick up on other people's like body language and things like that. So it's being able to see outside of yourself. Now that I've gone over all of the chakras, I want to go over how to bring them into balance. So each chakra, they have like a color associated with them, a different color, different crystals. Usually the crystals are going to be the same color as that chakra. There's a sound, there's yoga poses, meditations, foods, and even just wearing the color are all things that can help bring that chakra into balance. Starting with the root. The root is red. Root connecting with earth, right? Because it's being grounded. So you can think of going into nature with earthing, but you know, walking barefoot on the earth, on the soil, on the grass, in the beach, in the sand, on the water, in the lake, and just getting grounded, because nothing is going to ground you more than Mother Earth. Thank you. Even wearing red and eating foods that are red, beets, grains, red apples, and greens, because those are all very like earthy foods. And then some crystals that are good for the root chakra would be any of like the red or the brown or the black crystals. So bloodstone, red jasper, tiger's eye, fire agate or got, one of the two, smoky quartz, onyx, black tourmaline. Even just wearing the color red, I don't know if I said that already, but like just wearing the color red, sleeping in the color red, meditating on the color red, focusing on, because they're a wheel, it's the red light, right? So just focusing on the light growing inside of you in a balanced way when you meditate, or even doing like a root chakra meditation. Then moving on to the sacral. Sacral is orange, so wearing the color orange, eating foods that are orange, like an orange, like pumpkins, mangoes, carrots, doing something creative, because it's connected to this sense, our ability to be creative. And so maybe dancing, writing, whatever it is that you like to do, you know, getting pretty, because it is that like that feminine energy. So going outside and being cute, the fuck. Poses that open up your hips and your legs. There's actually, I think even the goddess pose is good for your sacral chakra, and goddess pose, good for sacral chakra, feminine energy. You get my drift. Some crystals that are good for your sacral chakra are amber, citrine, orange calcite. Since the sacral chakra is connected to the water element, I would also recommend like going in water, taking baths, going to the beach, going to a pool, and drinking water. Maybe you're dehydrated. Are you dehydrated, sis? Speaking of dehydrated, I might need to drink some water too. That was the message from me to me. Now we are moving on to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is associated with the color yellow. Fire, help bring your self-esteem or your self-confidence or your ability, your willpower. I don't think I used that word earlier, but it's your sense of willpower and like putting yourself out there, getting that sun on you. That'll help recharge you, help get that back into balance. Or eating foods that are yellow, so a lemon, foods that are easy to digest, since it does rule the digestive system. So maybe cool it with the starch and the milk and the dairy. I mean the milk and the meat, you know what I'm saying? Even do some sort of fire meditation, meditating with the candle and focusing on the flame. That could also help just calm your solar plexus down if you're feeling like it's overactive. Strengthening your core, detoxing, maybe it's time for a detox. Crystal that is associated with it would be our yellow tiger's eye or any other yellow crystals. I can't think of anything off the top of my head besides the yellow tiger's eye. But moving on to the heart chakra. Heart chakra is associated with the color green and pink, so you could wear green and pink as one, or eat more green foods like green greens and green apples and cucumbers, right? Associated with the element of air, so going outside for a walk, breathing in fresh air, doing some breathing meditations, deeply stretching your chest and your upper back and your shoulders. Wow, that actually made a big difference. Spending time in nature, of course, because Mother Nature is green. Setting clear boundaries with other people is also a good one to help calm or bring that back to balance. Showing gratitude, maybe having a gratitude journal could be something, or just writing, or even just saying, I'm grateful for this and this when you wake up and when you go to bed. Crystals that are associated with the heart chakra would be green tourmaline, jade, rose quartz, emeralds, any green crystals. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. So moving on, the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is connected to how you're feeling and are you expressing how you're feeling. So journaling for the throat chakra could also be good, or even like tracking like your emotions throughout the day, or just being more aware of how you're feeling, especially when you're busy. You're not really paying attention to how you're feeling, you're just paying attention to getting through the day, right? The reason why I'm saying journaling is because if you're having a hard time talking to other people, you might as well have a conversation with yourself. And then reading back, like sometimes, you have so many thoughts in your head, and then when you actually put it down to paper and it's like, wow, it's so much clearer. Before it was just like, woo, up in here, and that's a lot. You can also sing, you can laugh, you can scream if you need to, just kind of use your vocal cords. Being more assertive and not being afraid to say no also really help your throat chakra. Wearing the color blue, it's more of a light blue, or even wearing crystals that are blue, so turquoise, aquamarine, lapis lazuli, blue kyanite, those are all good crystals. Also eating blue foods, blueberries, blackberries, plums, grapes, things of that nature would also be very helpful. Of course, even just like rolling your neck, stretching your neck, doing, yoga. Yoga helps with everything, right? So moving on to the third eye. So the third eye up in here is your intuition. I would say for this one, decalcifying your pineal gland. So using things that are fluoride free, eating more raw fruits and vegetables. Third eye, I feel like grounding meditation and mindfulness meditation would be very beneficial. Tracking your dreams, paying attention to the messages that your body is telling you, which areas of your body feels tight and what does that mean, and what makes that area feel tight. Like, what are you thinking about when, your left shoulder tenses up? Because it could be a common thing that happens, and maybe you just stretch that out, and maybe you really need to figure out why that's making you so tense, because maybe that emotion, you need to work on it, if that makes sense. Filtering your water is on the way to decalcify your pineal gland. Wearing the color purple or like a dark blue, having like a clear amethyst or like an amethyst crystal would be beneficial for your third eye. And the last chakra is your crown chakra. So the crown chakra is your sense of wholeness, being able to connect to the divine, right? So meditation will definitely be beneficial for your crown chakra. Praying to whatever you believe in. your spirit guides, reaching out to your ancestors, whatever it is that you believe in. Praying will definitely help. Focusing on gratitude and the things that are around you, wearing the color white or wearing the color purple. So if you're a Black person, wearing your natural hair, definitely one that would elevate your crown chakra. And the reason why I'm saying that is because curls, your hair is its receptors. It gets messages from the sun and it's able to pick up things that you can't. Your hair, it's an extension of your crown. It protects your crown. So your crown chakra, right? And your crown is a crown in itself because it's sending messages to you. So when you wear your natural hair, you may pick up more messages from source, from God, the divine, your ancestors. But yeah, focusing on gratitude and the beauty around you, wearing your natural hair, or even like, you know, if you don't want to like walk around with your natural hair, wearing like headscarf, that way it's still your natural hair. You know, I got this shit over my hair and now it's like kind of blocking the messages that I could be getting, if that makes sense. But the color white or purple is also beneficial. Purple foods or clear foods, so drinking water, and grapes, dark grapes, figs, plums, grains, things like that. And meditating, drinking water, focusing on gratitude and seeing the beauty around you. And some crystals that are good for the crown chakra would be labradorite and clear quartz and amethyst as well. But yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope I didn't ramble too much. And if you liked what I had to say, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the subscribe button because that really helps me out a lot. And I want to reach more and more people. And like I mentioned, I am not a doctor. So just because there could be physical pain in those areas doesn't always mean that this is why you're having that pain. It just manifests in those areas. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by. Bye.